Good day, beautiful soul. Matt here, and this is day 15 of 30 Days of Spring Creative Journaling by Marva Midkiff. And today's intention is all about vulnerability. Today we will share ourselves authentically with the people around us that we trust. Kicking it off with a quote from the vulnerability expert Brene Brown, who says, "Vulnerability is about showing up and being seen. It's tough to do that when we're terrified what people might see or think." Okay, so when we live in a reality of conditioning, we guard ourselves against the possibility of being hurt. Many times, we don't even realize when we are guarding or how thick we put up the walls. Guarding has become habitual, and we are protecting ourselves against the people and situations that could open us to the wonders of the universe. Without vulnerability, we struggle to achieve love, creativity, belonging, trust, and joy, just to name a few. All of these experiences place us in the unknown, and when we are living in our conditioning, we need to protect from the unknown. This is where vulnerability comes into the picture. Brene Brown has spent the past 2 decades studying vulnerability, courage, worthiness, and shame. In her words, vulnerability is basically uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. So when you think of vulnerability, what comes to mind? Okay, feel free to repeat today's affirmation with purpose and intent. Today I show up for myself, for who I truly am at this moment. My vulnerability empowers me. Okay, so we have 2 phases to our journal practice today. First, take a few grounding breaths and bring yourself into the moment. And go ahead and take a few more breaths with the intention of connecting and opening your heart. Now, we're going to spend a few minutes writing, not thinking, just writing. A stream of consciousness, morning page style. If you get stuck, write the word vulnerability until your mind clears. And we're going to write on the areas of our life that being vulnerable could really serve us or make us more connected. Go ahead and choose one thing that you do not believe you're very good at drawing. That's, for me, people's faces, and also apparently for Marva. I'm also I cannot do hands. Hands are so difficult. So draw that thing, whatever it is, and if you really want a dose of vulnerability, color it as well. The objective is to step into the unknown with an open heart, courage, and the willingness to do something uncomfortable. That feeling that you're having is vulnerability. Unless, of course, you're stuck in perfectionism, comparison, or avoidance. If that's the case, then you are in your conditioned mind, and I would encourage you to sit in stillness and breathe, then proceed. All right, following up our journal session with a bit of gratitude. So when you are authentic with your thoughts and feelings, you're allowing others to be vulnerable as well. And tracking this and what came through in your journal session, what are you grateful for? So I'm curious, how did you answer the question at the beginning? When you think of the word vulnerability, what comes to mind? Many of us were taught that
emotions are insignificant.
We're also told,
never let anyone see you in a state of weakness.
Or maybe
things are either good or bad, black and white, true or false.
And the list can go on and on. Try as we might, there may be times that we feel we are vulnerable, whether we want to or not. This is called being human. Making vulnerability a power you choose to have rather than an unavoidable stressor can change the feeling place of that experience. You become curious and courageous instead of resistant. This can be accomplished by being present and observant in the moment and having the courage to open yourself and show your authentic self to people you trust. In Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly, she writes, "Vulnerability is about sharing our feelings and our experiences with people who have earned the right to hear them. Being vulnerable and open is mutual and an integral part of the trust-building process." Thank you so much for joining us in today's session on being vulnerable. So grateful for your presence and your attention, and we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments or in our private activity feed. Very safe place to share and express and be vulnerable, and we would be delighted to have you. There's a link in the description to join us over there. So enjoy the day, enjoy leaning into the resistance that vulnerability might initially put up. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we explore the intention of being awake.